So the other day, I sat down to work on this, and what I was gonna do is finish up the roof here above the garage. What I need to do is just extend it and finish it, and I ran into two huge problems that I've never noticed before, and so I'll talk about that because it's really gonna set me back here a little bit. If you remember, I built this section above the garage a long time ago, before I even did the second story on here, because I was waiting to buy electrical stuff, and so the only thing I could really do was do this roof. So I did that. And all I did was start it. I didn't go all the way across there, I just did this little part, because this is a hard roof to frame. It was confusing, so I just kind of got it out of the way. Well, everything is nice about it except for these two huge problems, which, well, the first one, well, actually, I'll show you this. I was really happy with the way this came out because what I wanted to do is have a 9/12 roof pitch, and I had this gable here on the front, and then it would go straight back. Okay, this is nice and level. It goes, right straight back and everything. Everything's nice. And then there's going to be another roof here that, you can see it right there, and it comes in, and these kind of just join together. And then there's like a hip here on the side, and as it goes back, see how there's this weird angle here and right there? Well, the roof is going to turn. It's just going to go from this to like this, and it's actually there's going to be a little porch here, and then the rest of it will go all the way up and then come back down here, and there will be another angle here where it turns. So it's kind of a confusing roof, but I did this really tough part. If you look down, if you look down the edge of something, it should always be nice and flat. See how that looks flat? Even though there's a bunch of different rafters, you could tell they're all parallel and everything, nothing's sticking out. So when you look down the edge of this, even though this is at this crazy angle and these are going like straight up, it's nice and flat. That's good. Same thing when you go this way, it's nice and flat. So it makes a nice flat roof, and if you compare this little piece here to this, it's nice and flat. So I did a good job framing this, which I was pretty proud of. However, when I went to extend this, what I did is I made one of each rafter. So this is a duplicate of this rafter. Actually, this is a duplicate of this rafter. And then I made one of this rafter. And what I was going to do is put one here, then the other one here, and I was going to just extend this, and then I was going to turn it, and then finish everything up and frame all the rafters in. Well, what I found out when I made a duplicate rafter of each side is that one, see, that's at the same, one is longer than the other, and that actually this side here is longer than this side. And what does that mean? Well, think about it. If you have a roof like this and this side is longer than this side, then doesn't that mean that this is not in the center? It does. So somehow I messed up my measurements when I did that. Now this front thing is fine. This is actually perfect. From this point to this point and from this point to this point are the exact same measurement, which means this is right in the center of this wall. However, here, this is only going up at this kind of slope, whereas this has a higher slope, which we don't want. So I somehow screwed that up. So in order to fix it, I need to tear off all of this. I need to just take this whole roof thing off and redo it, which is a pain because that took a lot of time and it came out really nice. So I'm gonna have to redo all of it, which is annoying, but at least I can fix it. The other problem I ran into was one of those things where you kind of learn a lesson. When you design something, you should think about everything rather than just like one thing at a time. Like when you're planning out the floor, you should be thinking about what the roof is going to look like. Because, and I did do that. I learned my lesson from the last house when I messed up on something. But when I did this, I messed up on this one little part here. From the edge of this wall to the edge of this outer wall is 13 inches and 1/16. So let's just say 13 inches. From this corner to this corner is 12 inches and 1/16. So it's a full inch shorter. If you were to look at it in a drawing, it's 13, that's 12. Basically, like I said before, this roof is going to just continue this way and then turn, which means the base of the roof needs to be the same width. Because think about it, if it's going to be the same pitch, the same roof and everything, and it just turns, the base would need to be the same width. Because, say, that's the bigger roof. If you make the width shorter, the one with the smaller width would be shorter. Now obviously if we want it to be the same roof, where it just turns, this line is the top of it, where it just turns, the base would need to be the same. So how do you fix that? Well, this one here needs to be an inch longer. So what I could do here is add an inch off of here and have the roof come this way and turn right here. However, this would be a big porch and it would actually come out past this wall. Or I can add an inch to the back, which would look really awkward. Or I could add 6 inches, or half an inch to both, which, I don't know. I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is frame it the way it is, but in order to keep the same height for the ridge here, I need to make the pitch higher. So I'll have to raise it up a little bit. So the pitch will actually be higher than this roof. So it won't be, the way it was going to be was a parallel line. See how this roof and this roof are parallel? Well, this one would also be parallel, but it's not. It's going to like go up more and then it's going to like go down at a really low pitch. It's going to be real weird. But I mean, it's really not that weird. I've seen plenty of houses that have different roof pitches like that, and it's fine. So it'll just kind of fill in from whatever this roof does. So, but yeah, that's what I have to do now. So I'm gonna tear this off and then just completely redo it, and I'll make it even nicer than it is now. So whatever.